Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk with the last episode of 5 Records in 5 minutes for the year 2024. Um, Probably do it in 2025, maybe a little bit differently. We'll find out. But we're hitting records from the year 2019, so these are records with their 5 year anniversary. And so the first one is going to be the youngest artist that I have who released a record in the year 2019. So this is Biba Doobie with her 5 song EP Space Cadet, including the classic I Wish I Was Stephen Malkmus. And she plays bass. And I've shown this record before, and I think I've mentioned before that she has the, I guess, honor of being the first artist born in the 2000s. She was born in the year 2000. That I ever got in my collection. I think at this point I still have very few people from the 2000s. So let's go to who I believe is the oldest artist who released an album in 2019 that I own. So Nick Cave, yeah, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with their album Ghosteen. So you can see a lot of haunting music. Obviously, Nick Cave, who was born in 1957, has had a lot of tragedies in his life in recent years, losing children, and I think that's been reflected in a lot of the music that he's put out. So we got Ghosteen. Almost as old, but not quite as old as Nick Cave is Bob Mould. And so Bob Mould is still releasing albums pretty regularly, every few years. He's somebody I actually saw play in concert for my first time this past summer. He was doing a solo electric tour. So that's just him playing electric guitar and singing, no bass. Very crowded room, old me. Like standing in crowded places, I'm not so much up for anymore. So a celebration of the power of rock and roll. So you got some rockers on here. Not as political and not as downbeat as a lot of his recent albums. And of course, the theme with this is I'm picking somebody who was most famous for being in another band. So Bob Mould, of course, was in the early 90s band Sugar. You probably remember Sugar. And then a great debut from the year 2019. So we have Emil and the Sniffers. However, Amiel, because her name literally is Amy, and her middle name literally begins with the letter L. And then her band, they're the Sniffers. And so that's snotty, high energy pub rock punk from Australia. So we don't have to worry about AC/DC being on their last legs because we've got Australia's rock band for the next several years. Emil and the Sniffers. I actually like their second album better. I know this one's rawer and punkier, and part of it might be I actually heard the second album first, but this was their debut. I believe she was born in 1996, so she is a few years older than Biba Doobie. And then finally, what I'm going to consider to be a career highlight for an artist, and so this is the Sturgill Simpson album, Sound and Fury. I remember I got this album right as the pandemic was starting, and it was Get Off My Turntable. That's Mike Hubtunes' Get Off My Turntable. Of course, he had the Japanese anime thing going there, the car, and so this was very much a Neil Youngish, oh, you say I'm a country artist. I don't have to release a country album. I can do like a blend of psych and electronica and like ZZ Top, and it sounds awesome. And it's still my favorite Sturgill Simpson's album, although I really like his country stuff as well.